I'll explain you how exactly I create short films for brands. I will be covering budgets, timelines, and also the process, the pipeline. So this is my pipeline. Okay, it's a little bit big, and the green ones are the things that I do as a producer and your creative director. The yellow ones are the artists that will be involved, and the blue ones or sky blue ones are the clients. The clients are involved in the process, yes, because it's at the end you act like an executive producer of your own short film. If you are creating a 3D animation like this to explain something, to promote your brand, a lot of things. Okay, so now that you understand the colors, let's continue with this diagram. Let's imagine you want a 1-minute 3D video animation, and what happens here is that you came up normally with an idea, a mood board, an objective, a goal, or even a script already. And from here, we obviously have a contract, NDAs, and all that. And after the payment and all that, we start producing stuff. So the first thing that we produce is the storyboard or animatic. This is basically a rough idea of your animated production, okay? This is done for a lot of things. First, to avoid spending a lot of money on 3D assets that we will probably don't need, so we'll be able to understand what is that we need to create, what are the characters, how is the story, you know, because until the last point we were doing just writing stuff, understanding the project, understanding your company also, and how our animations can be implemented in your company. So this, for example, is for Little Angels. It's a big YouTube channel, and we created a lot of storyboards for the 3D animation and their pipeline. This is done for series, for films, for commercials. Everything that has a storyboard is better planned. It's just a better video overall. And you will see, because I will show you here how this is done. Storyboard is basically images, and animatic is those images in like a video format like you have seen. After you have the storyboard, I will take the storyboard and pre-plan, give mood boards and descriptions for all the 3 teams. We need character designers, environment designers, and sound. I also have great partnerships with different studios that just produce sound. So a big part of an animation is the audio, the music, and stuff like that. So yeah, here I need to pre-organize everything. For example, here I have a mood board of just hair. You know, how do you want your character to be, characteristics, clothes. You can just give me a lot of references, basically. That's what a mood board is, and that's done for the characters and for the environments. For example, here for the environment designer, we give them the storyboard and animatic, cut it out in pieces like this. For example, in this Excel sheet we cut out all the scenes, and actually you don't need to worry about that, but you will start seeing your animation produced as scenes, different actions. When we separate that, we give these to the environment designer. So the environment designer get that information. They do isometric sketches. Okay, so this is actually a good example of an isometric sketch and how it turns out. Then for the environment, it's basically that, and then let's go for the character design part, because these 3 basically are done simultaneously. Character design is actually a great and cool experience for the client and the artist as well as me. We love to do different type of character designs, but the best results that we have found is doing this structure. Like, for example, you send us the brief and the mood boards and whatnot, the emotions of this character, and we start creating different sketches. For example, here we create the different types of hairs, different types of face shapes, and we have in account the things about the emotions, right? Shy, humble, noble, wants help. So we start creating the character to shape that. Also, we do thumbnails and different types of clothes also. And with you having these type of templates, you can quickly decide, oh, I like number 2, number 6, number 3. So it's like a seamlessly process that we enjoy, and we get like a really cool and satisfying result, because we are going back and forward with you and creating this with you, which is amazing because it's your brand and it's basically your character, right, that we create for you. So this is me guiding you throughout the decisions and you picking and choosing and approving. After the approval of environments and characters, we start the coloring. Here we just color everything in 2D, okay? Everything is here, it's in 2D. This is also another character in 2D. All the sketches, the initial sketches are done in 2D because we need to approve the character, right? And it's way better to plan out and have this structure to waste money on 3D because it's more expensive at the end. So after that, after the colors and everything, we can do different type of colors. That will depend on how much budget we have to explore these 2D ideas and how much time we have. But after the agreement, we do the pose of the character. The pose of the character, normally they need to be like this, like a T pose. When we model and when we put the bones, it's better just like that for the animation purposes that we are going to do. And here, right before we start the 3D, we have like a document for the artist that will be modeling. So I have experience doing this, so I've created like a really structured technical direction for the 3D artist, like for example work models on a real scale. To please apply transforms in objects before the rig process, please check UVs that are final before rigging. So this is like a pipeline to help the technical aspect of the 3D animation, and I like to do this because then we can just mess up a lot of things and we can have like really crappy animations if we don't do this. This works well if you want to include a team member to your project and you want him to follow up the same rules as everyone. So it's a really technical thing for the artist that you don't need to understand as a client, because then you will need to just have a degree on animation like me. So that's why I created this. It's like a 3-year pipeline creation. So I'm always refining that to develop better animations, obviously, and staying ahead of the curve, staying in the technology trends also. So here the 3D artists and the 3D texturing artists are sculpting and painting, basically. What modeling means is sculpting, texturing means painting the characters and the environments. After the review and the approval of these assets, we enter into the 3D rigging part. Normally the environments do not need rigging, some parts do, like for example if you are rigging a car need wheels, so they need some kind of rigging. A laptop, if you are moving it, they need some kind of rigging. Normally are props that they need rigging. Movement, basically. The characters obviously need rigging. It's basically the bones of the character, and this is just also technical. This technicality also it's in the pipeline, so the riggers can communicate with the 3D model artist and the animator artist, and everyone is in the same vibe, basically. And then we review and test the technical rigs and the assets. We just line up, okay, we are not missing out on anything that we need. We review. So this is the most important part, because from this, we will review each asset that we need. Okay, so we need to be aware of that. And then here, after all the characters and all the environments are done and developed as assets, we will be doing the animation in a moment. But in the sound design, we will create a draft to understand the dialogues, because the animators will need the dialogues already done at this stage, so we can just like animate the dialogues and be accurate on that. Okay, so in this part I do this is all green me, so I do like a team meeting in here in which I just line up all the animators and 3D lighting artists and compositing artists so we can separate the scenes. Normally I work with 3 people here to finalize like quicker, and we give like different scenes for different animators. What an animator do? They do the movement of the things, right? They don't do color or anything like that. So here we lay out scenes accordingly to the storyboard again, lay out the scenes so they know which scenes they need to do. We separate the scenes again, but as small clips, and these small clips, based on the storyboards, are acted and animated in the storyboard process. So here we do like a layout in 3D. We just create the scenes in separate Blender files because they are like super heavy, so we do this process each scene by each scene by each scene, like you see in here. This is basically the different projects that we have in Blender. So different projects for different things, so we don't have like headaches when we are just rendering and doing the heavy stuff with the computer. And in this part, we start developing 2 different things at the same time. The first is we already have the layouts and the shots planned out as still images, and with those still images, what I do is just create like a blank page on Photoshop and give that to a illustrator that is capable of creating emotions with light. So we do like a rough pass, like a really rough pass of the entire animation, like how going to look with the colors, so the color palettes, okay? This will help the lighting artists to just get the mood of the overall animation and just create the best animation possible, right? Then while we are doing that, we are creating the animation, the play blast, the blocking pass. This is a pass of an animation in which you don't have fully animated yet, but you are doing like just a rough pass of the animation, let's say, and then we edit each scene because we are like working in separate scenes. We edit everything, the master, and we send to the client so you can review everything like in one piece, because if we give you different scenes in separate, you will just confuse yourself. So we do that for you so you can just review the full picture. And in here we use a platform in which you can just review the animation and you can add notes. After the approval of this, we are done with the entire animation. Here you haven't seen colors, final colors of the animation yet. You have seen just like a 3D black and white thing with movement, obviously, but not with lighting, with color. You have just seen like the sketch version of it. So with this sketch version, we help the lighter light things and give everything color and emotion, right? So what we do here, so we don't waste a lot of money, is give you one still image of every scene so you can approve the colors of the animation. And after that, after the approval of each scene, we approve to render. The render is the part in which you need a lot of computers working out together to produce the image that you want that is in the computer, and not like render out in a video, right? It's just in a program, let's say. Anyone that have rendered a video for YouTube knows that render takes a lot of time when it's like a really great CGI video. And so that's why we do not want to waste money or time. Time is money, obviously. So after we know everything, how is going to be the movement and how is going to be the colors, we start rendering the video. But we do not render in a video format, we render in like layers. So we layer out everything, and this is because it's just better. Then in the composition part and the VFX part, we can mix up a lot of things, change colors if we want, just give more in-depth compositions. VFX is fire or some cool element that can't be done in animation because VFX is better to do that. In composition, we also add any type of letters. It's more of like an edition kind of thing. And then we do like a play blast. A play blast is just like almost a final video, and you review, you approve, and then if the music is already done at that point, it's amazing. We add the music, we edit the scenes, we give you again the video, and you have your video ready. It can be something like this video right here that I will play for you right now. It's a 1-minute video following up this pipeline. How long this takes is just depends, man. It can be 60 days. 60 days, I think it's a great timeline to finish this type of animation. Now let's talk a little bit about how expensive this video was. This video in particular was $16,000. As you see, it's like a really big pipeline. You need different type of artists to do like a world-class animation. And this type of video is done and is meant to be for a product or service that is high-end, high quality, just have this luxury type of thing, because it's expensive, you know. You need to understand that if you are spending $16,000 in a 1-minute video animation in 3D, you need to be able to make your money back. And the cool thing about this is that you do it once, you can just run it forever or until the animation is kind of old. But that usually takes 10 to 15 years, so you can run that at a very long time. So it's great when you are just want to create branding, something that lasts, something that can run for a very long time, and something that you believe in, right? So yeah, if you want something like this, I will recommend you to check out the description below. I included my animation studio website, and as you have seen, the design part of it is just one big chunk, and then you have the chunk of animation. So for example, the Coca-Cola bursts, they are created once and you can use it a lot of times, you know. So if you are creating more than a minute, obviously the price is just like way less than $16,000. It can be half of it, you know. So that's amazing. That's something that if you are wondering like, oh, should I do 3D animation, this is a really good investment. I recommend this for like big companies or like startup with like really great budgets, that you know that your product is like just high quality and you are selling like luxury, as I said, or something that is just premium and you know that it will last for long. So that would be all for today. Hope you could enjoy the pipeline of an animation. As you see, there is a lot of interaction with the client as they are working as executive producers, as well as me, that I am a creative producer. So that's just amazing. It's just like collaboration to create really cool graphics, you know, that are at the end are assets that you can reuse them to create different things. So hope this video have helped you understand a little bit more how 3D animation is created, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.